Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin Artist checking in again. We are out here at our Ridgeville lots. We just finished up our last two homes that we're going to do here. We got power for one of them, so I went ahead and started up the mobile home. Then we didn't have the electric meter on the other ones. I'm not sure why, but I'll call the electric company Monday and figure out why, and then we can get that one started up. Next step for these two homes are to go ahead and get them cleaned up, get pictures, and then we can go on market. So let me show you what they look like. So here are the two homes. This was the one I just started up. It has power to it. So it's a four bedroom, 2-bathroom sheetrock Hey Jude with the Hardy board skirting. We painted the gray the same as the gray around the doors there. So those are the other two that we recently did and sold, and there's actually a lot in between this home and this home that we sold, so I was able to sell that and not have to do anything to it. But here's the well for this property. So when you start up a mobile home, the power company will go ahead and bring in power to your pedestal. So that's what that gray box is over there. So you can see they dug to this green box, and then it splits to this one, and this is the other home that we had set up over here. So this one is actually already under contract. But then so they dug that line all the way to the power pole, and you can see the line going up to the transformer, then getting power from the power lines there. So whenever you're setting up a manufactured home, you're gonna have to cut on the disconnect here at the pedestal, and then I usually go to the well because that's electric, right? 220. And let the water run for a little bit. So we did that, and then once I do that, I go ahead and go in and turn on all the breakers on the inside of the home. So I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, you let the water run so you can get all the nasty water out that's kind of in the well that's been kind of stagnant. So you open that up and let the water run out, and then this valve is typically closed when you start. Well, it's going to be closed when you start it up. You want to see about 60 pounds of pressure. So then once you let the stagnant water out, you'll close that, and then you'll slowly open this valve here, so you don't just send 60 pounds of pressure straight to the home and kind of shock the system. But you'll slowly open it, let the pressure build up, and then open it fully. Let me show you on the inside. All right, so once you're inside, I did forget a step, but before you open that valve to send water to the house, you're gonna wanna come in here and make sure that all your faucets are off. You don't want to, be sending water to the home and then, you got water running in here. And always make sure the faucets are off, as well as all the actual plugs or the drains for the sinks are open, just in case one is open or leaking. It can at least drain down. But you're going to want to make sure that these are shut, as well as that's your main valve, water supply valve for the home. Typically there's another valve right where the water line comes into the home, which is kind of right under here in this particular home. So that's usually open, but if you're not getting water to the house, it could be because that valve is shut. As soon as you turn on the water, your water heater should be turning on. And then, like I said, usually let that water run for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I come in here, and you're gonna want to turn on your service disconnect. So now you're gonna have power to your meter, and then you can go on and turn on all your circuits in your home, and all your lights and fridge and everything will start turning on. So this one has this lock on it. It usually has a little sticker. That's for your hot water heater. So you're going to want to make sure the hot water heater is full before you turn this breaker on to start actually turning on those heater coils inside the water heater, because then if it's not filled with water, it can damage the heater coils. So that's that. So the water's running outside. We checking on our lights and stuff. And then we send water in here. We got power. So then I go ahead and start turning on the faucets. So I typically like to start with faucets that have kind of the cold and the hot separate. So you can turn on the cold, and it'll be kind of, there's air in those lines. So it's going to be kind of water air mixture. But after a few minutes, or a little less time with the cold, it'll be a straight stream of water But on the hot side, it's going to take a lot longer because there's still air in all the lines, but also there's air in the hot water tank. So you're going to want to open that up, and you'll see, or you'll hear the hot water tank is heating. That it's filling as you're letting air out of the system. The hot water tank is filling, and then eventually it'll get full, and then you will eventually get a steady stream of water on the hot side. So it takes longer than you would think, but while the water is kind of splitting or spatting water and air mixture, it's gonna make you feel like it's breaking, but that's just kind of how it is. So just let it run for 5 minutes and it'll eventually have a steady stream. So we put little decks on the back of these mobile homes, so I'll give you a quick tour. So like I said, these are sheetrock homes with the smooth flat ceilings, which people love. They come with the blinds already. This is the main living space, the kitchen area, the fridge. I forget if I mentioned it or not, but for your fridges, there's also water valves typically behind, because you have the water there. So you want to make sure that you pull the fridge out and actually make sure that valve behind there is shut, so you don't spray water behind your fridge whenever you turn your water on. So yeah, just make sure all the water valves are shut. But yeah, this is the living room area. This is the dining room area. Then you have 3 bedrooms down here, one right here, bathroom. This is the flex room in this home. Then you have 2 more bedrooms here and here. And then the master is all the way down on this end. So this is right at 2,000 square feet, 4 bed, 2 bath, sheetrock home with the hardy board skirting. And this is your master. So yeah, that's how you start up a manufactured home. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.